In what way does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of a real-life media product? After analysing 3 different magazines, I've produced a product, Urban Raw, which follows most of these conventions. My magazine is unique, and by analysing XXL, Hip Hop and The Source, I picked out different techniques they have used in their magazines to make their product stand out. I used one convention in my magazine by placing the masthead in a bold sans serif font across my page underneath my main image. The image should be the main aspect of my magazine, as it will influence my target audience to buy the magazine. The colour of my masthead is in a bold white font. From my secondary research, I discovered the sensation typography that looked very unique. From analysing other hip-hop magazines, one thing I noticed that was very conventional was by having a bold masthead font which stands out. Therefore, as Sensation is a bold font, I decided to use this so it will stand out on my coloured background. From analysing XXL and Hip Hop, I recognised both their mastheads are in a white coloured font, suggesting this is conventional for a hip-hop genre magazine. The layout of how I position my cover lines is conventional, as most of my cover lines are on either side of my image. However, I decided to place my cover line so it anchors my main image so my target audience can identify who the artist is. By analysing XXL, I have followed their technique by having cover lines along the main front cover. I have decreased the opacity of one of my cover lines so it looks more faded and you can see the background slightly more. In a bold banner, I've placed text saying exclusive interview so it stands out and catches the reader's eye so they get amused. From my secondary research, I discovered that I shouldn't oversell my storyline and I need to make sure the storyline exceeds the interest of my target audience throughout the magazine. I've used this convention by making my cover line short and to the point and also showing the storylines on my contents page. Another convention I've used is by using a combination of different size text for my cover lines. The colours I've used is white, yellow and black. By analysing the source, I recognise the names of the artists when different colour text compared to the rest of the writing. Therefore, I have placed the names of the artists in a white bold coloured Arial black font and the text associated with it as a yellow and white coloured font. Another convention I've used in my magazine is by adding a barcode on the front cover. I've also placed the price of my magazine and the frequency of how often it is distributed above my barcode. I decided to distribute my magazine on a monthly basis as I feel like my target audience will have more disposable income, and it is conventional as most other hip-hop magazines also do this. I felt like placing it here as the first thing my target audience is going to look at is the price of the magazine. Therefore, by placing it with a barcode, they can easily navigate to the price. I've also placed a barcode on the right bottom side of the magazine, as I've seen other magazines also do this. My main image represents conventions usually found in a hip-hop genre magazine. Both XXL and The Source use one image which dominates the front cover. By using one image, it makes my magazine more simplistic and less busy so it doesn't look too overcrowded. This is also done to highlight the importance of the subject of the main article to interest potential readers. A convention I decided to develop is by using medium shot image. From analysing XXL and The Source, they both use a medium close-up. However, I wanted my magazine to be unique from others, and I thought my image would stand out more if the audience can see the costume and props. The medium shot image is a clear shot showing direct address, emphasising the subject is superior. It also makes the audience feel comfortable and feel like they can trust the magazine if they are a fan of hip-hop. From analysing The Source and XXL, I'd realised they used a male model for the front cover. However, I challenged this convention and decided to use a female model for my front cover image. I used a bold red cap prop on my model so it stands out and it shows her to have a powerful presence and shows authority. By analysing other magazines, I realised when the photographers had to take the image, they had to make it stand out and show the artist to be dominant. This is very conventional as my target audience will instantly see the image, therefore it should track them into buying the magazine. The red cap, which says obey on it, stands out and challenges dominant ideology of a man wearing it, as I have used a female instead. I thought this cap would be very unique and show as well as men, women can also be powerful. As well as using the cap for my props in my image, I also decided to use a bit of bling by adding a necklace on my model and some large hooped earrings. For Hip Hop magazine, it is conventional to add some bling as this fits well into the genre and it does attract the target audience. The necklace is shown to be held in the centre of the image to stand out, and the image also shows a rebellious side to it. The background on my image is basic and simple, which is conventional as most hip-hop magazines have a basic coloured background. From analysing XXL, they used a dark red coloured background as this fits well into the genre of the magazine and it is quite an airy and dangerous colour. Therefore, I decided to use the convention of a colour background for my own magazine. Another convention I've used in my magazine is by adding a skyline on my front cover above my masthead. This is shown in the Source and Hip Hop Weekly magazine, and by adding a skyline in my front cover, it can address the audience into making them buy the magazine. One convention I did develop on my front cover is where I'd place the website for my magazine. From analysing all three in my textual analysis, they had placed their website address with the barcode. However, I placed my website address underneath my masthead. This is different, but my target audience will more likely be interested in the price of the magazine more than anything else. Therefore, I decided to place it underneath my masthead. The overall layout of my contents page fits well into the genre of my magazine. Two of my textual analysis have used a simple contents page with only one image on it. However, I decided to follow the layout of Hip Hop Weekly's contents page as I thought one image isn't enough to attract my target audience into reading on. I've developed the conventions by having a busy atmospheric contents page. However, though, I think this will entertain and attract my target audience as it gives them lots of content they may be interested in. By adding that in every issue box, it gives my target audience a summary of what to expect in every issue of my magazine. Dedicated fans will more likely look at this when buying my magazine. Using dividers to separate columns in a contents page is conventional as it aids navigation. Therefore, I've separated my content page into 3 columns. Instead of making all 3 of these columns equal lengths, I decided to shorten one column as I place my credits here. Having credits is conventional in the Hip Hop magazine and is shown in both XXL and Hip Hop. If my target audience wants to know any more information or have any requests on the magazine itself, then I have shown an email address and all the names of the people who took part in producing the magazine. It is also a form of advertising or creating an interest within a reader for that person. My images are both a medium shot and the mise-en-scène of the costume and props they are wearing connotes a hip-hop genre. One way I have developed forms of conventions is that I take my images. I took them in a professional way so my subjects are posing and looking successful. Analysing other magazines, this is very important in a music magazine as it attracts the audience. The artists in my magazine are role models to my target audience, therefore the images need to stand out. I've placed my models on 2 different backgrounds which stand out. The bottom left image is shown to be taken outside in a rough street with a church and buildings in the background. This is a more urban setting which fits well into the genre. This creates a realistic effect as my target audience can relate to the image by what my subjects are wearing and the location as they may be outgoing. On top of my images on the left is a caption of who the artist is and the page number. This is a conventional technique I've used because if existing fans are attracted to the images and would like to read on, they can easily navigate to the page number. If anyone who reads my magazine is new to this genre and intrigued by the images, they can identify who the artist is. Another convention I've developed in my magazine is the use of my page numbers. I place my page numbers before the text in bold red coloured font. I make them slightly bigger than the text itself so the page numbers stand out. I've challenged conventions by using 4 different colours for my house style, however I've kept them consistent throughout my magazine. On my front cover I did use 3 colours, black, yellow and white. However, I thought the red coloured background stood out and was a very modern and unique colour to my magazine. Therefore, I decided to use this for my house style. From analysing the 3 magazines, I discovered they had at least one colour which stood out and was bright. By following this convention in my magazine, I used a yellow colour similar to Hip Hop Weekly, as I thought it would stand out and attract my audience. The house style, white, black, red and yellow, are unique to my magazine as they blend in well together and make my magazine look more colourful and attractive rather than having a dull white. From looking at other hip-hop magazines, I realised the conventional form on the contents page was by placing the names of the artists in a bold font compared to the rest of the text. This is shown in all three textual analyses I've analysed, therefore I've done the same for my magazine. I've placed my ordinary text in Arial font and the names of my artists in Arial black font. This will easily entice my reader and the words will stand out, for example Lil Wayne. This can relate to the fans of my genre or fans who are interested in a particular artist named in the magazine. This gives them multiple reasons to read onwards on a particular article shown in my magazine. Another convention I used, which is normally shown in the hip-hop genre magazine, was by adding subheadings splitting my information into different categories. I used a yellow coloured font for my subheadings so they entice my reader, and as it is a bright colour it will stand out. Other conventions I have used in my magazine is by showing the issue number on the third column. This shows my magazine has been ongoing for 24 months, so it's slightly new, however it is popular. Another form of convention is having a footer on the bottom left of the contents page showing the page number and repetition of my masthead. I will do this for every one of my pages, making it easy for my audience to easily navigate. I've also repeated the masthead on top of the page, as I've noticed XXL and Hip Hop also do this. It is vital to follow what my target audiences want, and by doing a questionnaire I discovered most of them would subscribe to my magazine, therefore my magazine will be subscription based. By showing an image of the front cover and writing to subscribe go to, they can easily navigate this and go online to the website and subscribe to my magazine. My double page spread uses many conventions from a hip-hop genre magazine. I have been inspired from all three of my double page spreads I've analysed, and I have made my double page spread different from others. The hairstyle is still consistent and makes the magazine look more professional. The main image of my article dominates the left side of the page, showing it is an important article. The image is of the same person in the front cover. From analysing my textual analysis, it is conventional to show the same model twice through the magazine but dressed differently. I've done a long shot image showing the mise-en-scène costume of what the model is wearing and the location of where she is at. The mise-en-scène costume she is wearing is laid back and may relate to readers as they may want to dress like this as well. This is a technique used in hip-hop genre magazines so fans can relate to the magazine. The image I've used on my double page spread challenges conventions as it is not traditionally a staged photograph, as the subject looks like she's on a night out. By showing the subject's legs, it shows her feminist side and may attract a male audience. The location it is taken at shows she is out somewhere public, as there are artificial lights in the background and buildings. The red sweat top and obey hat sense a sign of danger about this female artist, and this may intrigue my target audience. The kicker I've created for my article is less common in what I've analysed. It stands out as it is on a black background in a yellow coloured font. This is a form of identification as it tells the audience which subheading they are reading the article under. The headline develops a form of media conventions as it's commonly used in some hip-hop magazines. As hip